Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Empires of Aether, the next great turn-based strategy board game that allows you to wield the power of an element of your choosing, vying for control of a new power, a new element, Aether. And boy, oh boy, is it a hot one tonight, ladies and gentlemen, featuring the current number 2 seed in Blue Shadow, aka Dwarf Exterminator, trying to snatch the first place number 1 seed from none other than Scooby, aka Gerald himself. But this game is it's not even about that at this point, I don't think. I think this game is really about Bobrick. Bobrick trying to not die. You see, Bobrick is a young player. A young player. And has found himself, in the last 8 games that he's played solo, to die. Wow! Bobrick has died 8 consecutive Empires of Aether games. A truly unheard of accomplishment. Truly unheard of accomplishment. So let's see if he can break out of this slump. In fact, he's played 2 competitive games thus far, and his opponents have absolutely taken advantage of what seems to be a free kill each and every game. I don't know. What's going on? This game is also featuring the man trying to acquire more than 1 win condition after a few games played, but this also a brand new player on the come up, only has 2 games to his name, his first competitive game. It's Sebastian. But in one of those 2 games that he's played, snagged himself a nature win. And in just a moment, we're going to take a gander at this board as they're setting up their abilities. Seb is still trying to log in here really fast. And let's get into the action, and we'll highlight a few of the changes that this lovely game has been experiencing. Take a gander at this board. We have the once again available Moon element being selected by Dwarf Exterminator in the 13-13 position. I'm not positive on this, but I believe it is Seb going out of the gate with the 10-10 spot. And he's snagging himself Earth in a very, very good corner for Earth. Got a couple of mountains out there and a juicy looking forest tile that he can turn into a mountain tile for himself to really, really soup up those defenses. So I like the picks here. And he got that with the last pick. The bans this game were Glacier, Lightning, Air, and Water. Pretty standard set of bans nowadays. But this is actually... Ooh, Lightning actually wasn't banned. Metal was banned. Sorry. Metal was banned just after the man has snagged himself his first metal win after a double-digit amount of games played. So they want to keep him off of it. They think he's figured out a formula, and they want to keep him away from it. But it is now going to be Oof Lord, a.k.a. the man, playing it on Poison from the 16-16 position. Bobrick is going to be playing the freshly nerfed Lightning that has been truly dominant in this season of competitive Empires of Aether. But it is once again Dwarf Exterminator, the only player yet to have tested the Moon element. Now, a little bit of a different formula here. They really want to have this forest that's close to their home tile. And the fact that it is next door to the home tile, I think is going to be absolutely massive. But I don't want to underestimate Earth. Earth, I believe, in our virtual games, and in games just beyond it, has won, I think, like the last 5 or 6 games. That's ridiculous. I myself have died to it essentially twice in the last couple games I played. Broken? I don't know. Could it be? Could they possibly be broken late game and early game? Is Plate Tectonics that good? I don't know. I really don't know. They're diving into their abilities, and let's take a look at these corners. We've already kind of assessed Earth. Earth's got a pretty standard 2-mountain corner here, and they're probably looking to change this forest out here for a mountain, courtesy of their Tier 1 ability. But also, it's a pretty balanced corner, in which maybe this was one of the very few times where you don't take that Tier 1 ability that allows you to convert a mountain. So I think Earth's got a pretty standard board here. I'm not too worried about Moon aggressing upon me, and with Plate Tectonics, maybe even I can aggress upon Moon. But I like this Typhon being here because it is a barrier for if Moon gets any crazy aggressive ideas. Typhon is standing between us. Notch with the Owl up here. The fact that it's Poison on the opposite side of this long side, I'm probably not planning to get that boss. Because I'm probably just not going to be fast enough. Poison's probably going to outpace me there just a little bit. So then we take a look at Moon. Who Moon, if you'll recall, has a very unique way of leveling up to Tier 2. They're not going to keep that same pace that other elements do, but they are going to advance to Tier 2 by owning 4 armies simultaneously. It is a difficult task to ask of oneself in the very, very early game. And a few of the changes that have been made are mainly to this card, Lunar Cycle. This card is no longer just dictating 4 turns of weather. Instead, they have their own custom Moon card. And so, one turn they've got a buff, the next turn they've got a debuff. Buff, debuff, buff, debuff, rinse and repeat until you've won the day. So Moon, fairly weak early game. But what's cool about them is you don't have to invest in your mid game because you're investing in it all the while you're developing your board. One of their passives is every single tile that they purchase, they spawn 2 soldiers on that tile. So you're not anticipating them to get barracks in the early game. They're just going to expand upon the board and then put a barracks on their forest because their last passive is that every soldier purchased from a forest actually spawns 2. So really all he has to do is spawn 2 armies on this forest tile alone, and that will give him to Tier 2 no matter what. And if we're doing the math here, 2 armies, 10 soldiers, 3 food apiece, only 30 food invested total there. But let's not forget that every tile they purchase, they're getting 2 soldiers from that. So the 30 food up front might sound like a lot, and it is a lot. But the soldiers that we are acquiring while expanding on the board are going to be a big factor. And this is one of these things where we're not even sure if this is balanced. We don't know. We're going to find out together, though. And, of course, an officially competitive setting. And then we go over to Poison, the 16-16. And I love Poison being in this position, especially because it's Oof that picked it after Lightning picked their corner. And I think that's Oof really starting to understand this game. Because Poison is one of the main counters to Lightning, who has been an absolute dominant presence in the metagame as of late. Lightning has been 100% picked or banned in this season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 100% picked or banned. Absolutely busted. And in our games on the outside that have been deemed competitive, but of course they're still amongst experienced players, Lightning has been truly dominant. And Lightning actually just received a little nerf to Thunderclap. It now has a cap on how much building materials you can receive. So I like that Poison is picking this immediately following Lightning's pick. Because Lightning is all about spamming the dudes, and Poison is all about knocking those dudes down. Poison actually just got a new ability as well. Purchase a Swamp Tile for free and place a barracks upon it. I like this play, this card for Poison. Perhaps when you're going at the 10-10 or the 13-13 position, I don't know if it's necessary at the 16-16 position. I like it. I don't know if it's necessary. So would we have maybe wanted to take that, discard the enemy team's advantage cards, Tier 1. That's what I would expect. But they also got a little buff. Contagion is now a Tier 2 passive. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. And so Poison is going to be, I think, more relevant in more situations than it was before. Because typically it was only an element that was picked or banned when you had 2 swamps really close to their corner. But here we have Oof with 1 swamp 2 tiles away, and he's picking Poison. So Brave Man is testing the new changes, and I think he's going to be really, really powerful with it. Because what I'd love to see is Poison really prioritize the swamp on the short coast while also developing the long side and vie for Noctua. If you get Noctua in the Tier 2 position, he can get his quest, Death and Decay. And if he gets his quest in Tier 2, why, that is absolutely massive. And he's going to keep track of all these soldiers that he's killing via this counter right here. And so I really think that's going to be a part of Poison's strategy here. But I do think it was probably a mistake to take this Nobody Wants this card. We'll see. We'll see how he plans to use it. Who is Lightning? Why, it is none other than Bobrick, Mr. 8 consecutive deaths. So we'll see how he fares for himself. And his abilities, pretty straightforward. This has been the status quo for Lightning. The only flex spot I would say is probably Lightning Rod. That can be substituted with a couple other cards. Didn't opt for his quest here. You don't see Oxipity the Harpy on the board, so you're not anticipating to have the economy to go Tier 3 via economy. If Lightning plays turn 2 correctly, he wins. I see it already. That is none other than Harsha, a.k.a. Scooby, the current #1 seed in the competitive Season 1 of Aether, says that if he plays it correctly on turn 2, he will win this game. Let's see what he's talking about. I personally think Lightning should be vying for Stallion in the early turns, and maybe that's what Scooby is seeing. We're not sure. Maybe we need a co-caster for this. Maybe we need a co-caster for this game, right? Do we need 2 people at the desk at this point? Let's bust it out. Hold on. Let's bust it out. Let's see what a co-casting desk could really look like here. Here at the Captain News Network, we've got the lineups here. We've got the lineups ready, and we're going to be kicking it off with Seb in the turn 1 position at 10-10 very shortly. Have a little disconnect feature here. Let's see if he can stick around in the game. Back to you, Jeff. Back to you, Jeff. I appreciate the attempt, though. All right. I think once Earth selects his abilities, and Earth's got a pretty standard lineup that they're going for now, you're going for potentially aggressive plate tectonics plays in Tier 1, but you're typically waiting to pop off with spare rooms in Tier 3. I don't see him in contention for bosses this game. I think Poison's going to take Noctua pretty handily. I think Moon, if anything, can beat me to Typhon. I think it would take lots of events. Ooh, actually, you know what? I didn't even think of the implications of Poison versus Moon. Poison can deny Moon Tier 2 so heavily. That's actually such a cool interaction that we're seeing in Moon's second debut, and yet Dwarf picked it after Poison was selected. Might prove to be his downfall. We'll have to check it out. Not sure. We'll have to check it out. Yowza, yowza. So, taking a look at this board as well, we've got Echidna, the mother of monsters, who's going to spawn extra boss tiles into the game. I see Lightning as a player for this. Moon could potentially... You've already got Typhon in your corner, which is pretty cool. Is if you're playing for military, you're playing to kill Typhon. I like that. You kill Echidna, you only need one more boss and you win the game. So if you control this star tile, you spawn whatever you're going to destroy with your armies. They're probably already going to be in this area after killing Typhon. That's really solid. But Moon has to play around this early game super well. Poison's Man-Made Plague, I think, is going to decide the game. I put my money... I put my money on Poison right now. I might eat my words later, but I'm putting my money on Poison right now. I think they've got a really clear-cut pathway to victory. I think they counter 2 of the elements on the board. And the wild card here is if Earth is unaffected by all of these aggro plays from the 3 other nations, then maybe Earth can swoop on in and take the late game. That being said, Seb is the newest player here. If I had 2020, I probably could go Tier 2, Turn 2. And see, that's the kind of things that we gotta work math out on, because if that's the case, that might be busted. Might be. We'll have to find out. Let's go ahead and get these sand timers out here. Just in case, we're looking for an expedient competitive setting game. The brains have got to be going. The brains have got to be flowing. I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. We're on the wrong scene. No freaking wonder. No freaking wonder. Now, no need for editing at this point. At this point. Yeah. Now, we gotta cut out like 10 minutes of this casting right here. Yeah, Earth's got a pretty standard setup here. Probably getting a little bit of help on here. Just to quickly select it. Seb's going to get that first draw. Scripting automatically drawing. Thanks, Scooby. So we got Earth with the tectonic plates, extensive fortifications, and construction crew. Doubling down on these free defensive fortifications. Doesn't opt for that free mountain. Kind of what we said. Maybe this is one of those very few situations where Earth doesn't take that free mountain card in the Tier 1. Tier 2, though, great piercing the mantle, summon Citadel, absolutely, and eating rocks. We're going to get a great amount of building materials because once we pop piercing the mantle, we've got 3 different mountains worth of building material production. That is going to be absolutely huge. That's 24 building materials? No, 18 building materials from those tiles alone, along with, you know, the 3 from our capital, and if we're at the rainforest, we're making a good amount. Mid-20s easily per turn. Food is looking pretty good, too. I would imagine this rainforest is going to get a food resource building on it, and then the lake and the fields, slap them down, right? Let's play for the middle of the board, potentially even go for Oasis. What's really cool is he could play Tectonics Oasis into him and secure that tile within the first few turns. Which actually might be a really, really solid play. I think it all depends on What direction is Poison going to commit to in turns 1 and 2? I think that's going to be very, very telling. So we've got Seb going for likely the classic Xen era open, the 10-10 start, where you're purchasing a building material tile and a food tile. So he's going to purchase that lake with his general, pop a barracks down on it, and then go ahead and secure that mountain, which is going to give him excess BM compared to the other elements. Now the question is, where is Werewolf Man going to go? I imagine short side. I imagine you're going to go for this forest and this rainforest to secure this outer border. I'm going to maybe try to take advantage of this newer player over here, not knowing how to play around certain things. But then you just got to wonder, is Lightning going to pressure this Pegasus so fast that they can just teleport on top of my capital, maybe by turn 3, turn 4? That is something to be wary of. This swamp also being right next to the Pegasus means that poison can be taken the Pegasus very, very early on. He might go for this desert, turn that into a swamp, but then push in towards this other swamp and have a lot of added dice roll bonuses to take that Pegasus down very, very swiftly. And so let's go ahead and promote ourselves really fast. And let's get some advantage card action here. Earth getting an absolute smoke show of an advantage card turn 1. Great. Want to pop one of those tier 1s as early as possible. Oh my. And now, see, I think this is the kind of card that Moon wants to see turn 1. Upon purchasing a mountain tile, activate this card, spawn 3 soldiers on this tile. That puts him just already closer to getting tier 2. That is insanity. Absolute insanity. Because, and he's putting an army down here because he buys a tile, gets 2 free soldiers from that. Mountain Mercenaries, synergizing extremely well with that effect. He has an army on turn 1. Wow. Poison, plague, poison, plague, poison. Come on, let's get there. Come on, man. So already, I'm seeing, wow. And I get that was a very situational thing. But then the question is, does Moon's effect only need to be, 1 soldier spawning per tile? Or is that too weak? Fantastic in the early game, but then just so extraordinarily weak. Because where Moon suffers is they cannot build defensive fortifications. That's a part of their nation passive at this point. They cannot build defensive fortifications. So do they just crumble under any advantage card that kills soldiers? And do they crumble under anything that's got dice roll added bonuses? Right? That's the question. And so I think we're going to find out. We're going to Oof, the poison player, who I think is really in control of this game. I think he has to decide control of this game. He's going to go short side here. Commit for that swamp. He's going to pop that tier 1 ability that nobody wants this. Get a free swamp tile and place a barracks automatically upon it. Holy moly. Is this man going to forest on the short side turn 1? I would say this is definitely me showing that I want the Pegasus. And if the Lightning player wants it, he's going to have to race me for it. So yes, he does buy that desert, converts that to the swamp. So he's already generating himself 4 food from these 2 swamp tiles. And then 4 BM total between the 2 swamp tiles and the mountain. So a pretty good balanced economy thus far. But just massive short side presence against Lightning. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being super aggressive against Lightning here. Because while I'm sabotaging Lightning with the Plague ability, I'm also sabotaging Moon. But the question is Moon just really going to bully this newer player here? Do I have to swoop in and be the hero for this? This is going to be dicey. And we've got very good early card for Poison. This might actually be clutch for him. Because if he gets an army after having these 2 swamps, all he has to do is have an army and 1 soldier, or just roll higher than a 1 with 1 army to kill Pegasus. And I think he can accomplish that turn 2. Pretty solid. Yeah, so he can actually, he's going to generate 7 food here, which takes him to exactly 9 food. He can train 3 soldiers next turn. He'll be at 6 soldiers on this tile, an army and 1 soldier, guaranteed to take his Pegasus turn 2. I think that should definitely be the direction that he takes here. And then, if you're getting Pegasus turn 2, you can fly everywhere on the map and just really disrupt the game. Because it forces all other players to take a step back and just put units really, really close to them. This is an incredibly powerful start for Poison. Dare I say, too powerful, perhaps. Nerf everyone! Nerf everyone! Everyone is broken! Everyone is broken! And when everyone's broken, no one is. I'll give a Tabletop Simulator code to anyone in the chat that can name that quote in the next 20 seconds. When everyone's broken. Of course, this is paraphrasing. When everyone's broken, nobody is. Ay, ay, ay! By the way, can we hear music right now? Should be able to. The Incredibles, yes. Man already has tabletop. He's literally in the game right now. He's watching the stream. Wait, this is actually just, like, broken. This is where the turn 1 Stallion happens. Get hype. Is he gonna actually go turn 1 Stallion, though? I don't know if that's correct. Because then I think you just lose to Poison. So we got Bobrick drawing Intercepting Cargo, which means at the end of this turn, gonna collect 5 resources. I imagine you're gonna collect food from Poison. I imagine. Collect 5 food from Poison. He's gonna stay at 4 food. He can buy 1 more soldier. Poison very unlikely to get the Stallion if that's gonna happen. Lightning popping fast as well, you know the rest. Moving 2 tiles on the short side. Squaring up against Poison. Disregarding the field tile here. Oh, what's going on? He's at 20-20. So he's at 17-17 after doing that. If Lightning puts a barracks down, he can train an army, pop Command Thunderstorm, and attack with that army. Turn 1! He's doing it! Yo! We have 2 armies on the board! Turn 1! Yo! If anyone played Empires of Aether, like about a year ago, you're kind of bugging out right now. The game has changed! Popping Command Thunderstorm, going in! Go in there! Get in there, kid! Yes, Lightning wins. Lightning will get Stallion with this play, which is very, very solid for them. I will say that. Lightning gets Stallion with this play. I mean, they attack, right? Yeah, he's popping Command Thunderstorm. The weather is Command Thunderstorm for this turn and the next. So he's going to punch Poison out of this swamp tile. He's already sabotaged their food via Intercepting Cargo. Holy moly! This is wild! That's a guaranteed take. Absolutely guaranteed. Dude! I'm changing my bet. Poison's out. Poison's dead, bro. Poison's dead. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Lightning's taking this Pegasus next turn. Poison is going to be spamming that plague button. Poison's going to be spamming that plague button, which actually slows down Lightning, but Lightning has secured the Pegasus. Popping that DF there, that's interesting. I like it. I like it long term. It's not even relevant for next turn, but you might as well pop it while you can. Never mind, this is not what I wanted. What would you do instead? Scooby, what would you do instead? It's one of the very few times I've actually seen no new weather drawn in turn 1 because Command Thunderstorm's in place for this turn and the next. So Lightning's got one more play to make. Earth getting the Force retry. Not sure it's going to be too relevant for them in the early game. But really, like, what is their play now? This is where a newer player might make a very, very big mistake because if you don't know what the Pegasus does, you're not saving yourself right now. General needs to go to this field. Soldier needs to go to this mountain. Even if I can't afford everything, I still got to buy it. I'm probably buying this field this turn and putting a resource building on my mountain. That's what I'm doing this turn. Poison can't buy the field next to his capital. It's a round 2 kill. So you were anticipating that they kill the Pegasus turn 1. I like this play better. I like this play better. Because Poison can't buy the field, sure, but they can put a dude there. And putting a dude there is just as good as buying it at this point. That's my take on it. Gosh, this is crazy. Not a kill depending on the play. It is correct, right? Everything can change on a dime. Like if Jake also, you know, draws a juice or an advantage card that kills an army, like the game is over for Lightning. Because Lightning just burned their 2 strongest abilities in their whole stack to basically get a swamp. That would be brutal. That would be brutal. So we got Seb, which I think it's a pretty clear-cut play for him here. His 5 and 6 is correct, and I think you just move the general to the field, and you're putting a resource building on the mountain while buying that field. Pretty straightforward here. And then that gives you enough production to buy the rainforest the following turn. He doesn't own the second mountain. He shouldn't own that second mountain. All he needs is the general. Ah, yeah, with Pegasus, that's true. That's true. Depends on if Poison sees it. If Poison just knows to shift this soldier over. Because at this point, he's begging that this next card he draws is not an announce card. If Poison draws an announce card this turn, I think he is dead. By all accounts. Wait a minute. If Poison's at 6 food... He had to have used intercepting cargo on Poison, right? If it wasn't used on Oof, is that not just like the biggest toss? It had to be. Okay, it was. He still had 6 food, though. I thought he was at less. Okay. So we've got a pretty good defensive combat card for Moon here. Getting +1 to the dice roll when defending. So Moon got a really powerful, just good turn 1. But, yeah. I'm not sure how I'm liking, the current design. And maybe it is just I can't see past the Mountain Mercenaries advantage card. Like, that's such an insane combination with them. But he's at, what, 1 soldier off of 2 armies? Turn 2? Yeah, he's spreading out. Oh my, and he's just going to encroach. Absolutely. Buying that rainforest, and he's going to be creeping up. I think the 2 soldiers spawn from every tile is very strong. I think it should probably be 1 soldier. Just looking at it right now. Because I think you could even just disregard going tier 2 and just send all your soldiers short side. Kind of like what Lightning and Poison are doing and just kind of beating their heads against each other. But the cool thing is, Poison is going to be forced to use Plague likely this turn, which is going to slow down both Lightning and Moon from doing what they want to do. So I am glad that Poison's in this game, because it does stifle a little bit of what seems to be broken for Moon. 4 armies is a big ask, though. It's a big ask. And they don't get any economic bonuses. He's netting 9 and 7, so he's only going to be at 13 food. Interesting. So we got an Oof on Poison. Doesn't draw an announce card, so he does have the ability to access Man-Made Plague here, and it will be activated at the end of this turn. He has to do it. He has to do it. Lightning would get 1 or more attack with this army, sure, but Lightning has to do it. Or Poison has to pop this Plague. Yeah, I mean, you get your general out of here, right? Buy the land that you can. Send the soldier to the field. You're losing the Pegasus, right? General goes to the forest. Popping Man-Made Plague. It hurts really bad to lose that property tax advantage card, but you have to use Man-Made Plague for your survival. What an aggro game. Holy moly. The most aggro game I think I've ever seen played. And really, all of the aggro was turn 1. And I've seen several, turn 3 kills in my day, but I've never seen so much just scrapping turn 1. And yes, there was 1 fight. But look at how everyone was positioning. Moon with an army. Poison with setting up for an army in turn 2. And then Lightning straight up purchased an army. 15 food investment turn 1. The economy is gone. You are all in on this play, Lightning. Is Pegasus worth it? It really helped to get intercepting cargo, though. To get 5 extra food. That just so helped. Because he's making 4 food. 4 food and 4 BM. That's his economy. Yikes. Okay, I see where you might have made your play harsher. He can't kill the Pegasus, activate Wing Transport in the same turn, though. That's the problem. Wing Transport is activated before battles. But I see the potential there. Just a little too speedy. So Poison is going to shift that soldier from the swamp to the field. Smart play here. and he's going to go ahead and pop a double DF on this mountain. Also a smart play. But I don't think Lightning is concerned with this. Lightning is going to go Stallion here. They don't care about the swamp. They, of course, would like to keep it out of Poison's hands. But Plague is coming. This is soon to be defenseless. Let's see what Lightning gets here. Another good advantage card for them. Getting a lot of BM. Economy is already suffering, but he's at 16 BM here. Wasn't going to need BM for a while, so probably wishing it was some food. Gets 4 from it. Very nice. Very, very nice. Fast-paced game here. I think we're going to see a pretty fast finish. It might be a slow burn after the first kill, but I think overall it's going to be a pretty swift finish. But with every turn, you're losing the potential to really disrupt the game with Stallion. And so, based on economy and all that, Lightning is getting Pegasus, but then what? I don't know. This army's dead. Almost certain that this army is dead after this turn. Ooh, also, this isn't a guarantee. If he rolls a 1, he loses this fight. Interesting, right? Gonna buy the mountain. Gonna acquire a little bit of land. A little bit of land. Buy some real estate. Buy some real estate. Gonna go ahead and slap a resource building on that too. So Lightning is in a very rare position where they're making a lot more BM than food right now. He has to heavily invest in food next turn because all the soldiers are dying. He's gonna have winged transport, which means everyone has to be on the edge of their seat for where he's gonna fly to. But I don't like flying into Moon. Moon's got a lot of dudes. Earth can put down a million defenses in a moment's notice, courtesy of their 2 tier 1 cards. Not to mention plate tectonics, any tile safely away. So really, I might go to second layer of Poison in the next couple of turns. Because Poison is feeling the pressure. But I think this is okay for Poison. They're losing the Pegasus. But I think it's pretty rare to, beat Lightning to a boss. It happened to me yesterday, unfortunately. But pretty rare to beat Lightning to a boss. And, yeah, I think Poison is just going to turn their attention to the Owl. Okay, he bought soldiers out of barracks on the swamp. Where's he going? Is he going into Poison? Lightning rolled a 1, which is actually a 3. Wait, he's attacking Poison. Oh my. Lightning just all in and lost. We're going to call that play the Bobrick. With Plague coming, attacking that tile is the absolute worst move you could do. The absolute worst move you could do with Plague coming. That is, like, actually criminal. Get out! Whatever, they're going to grab it. That is the worst play you could have possibly done. Your soldiers are going to die. It is 50-50 that you lose every soldier, but with almost near certainty, Poison can attack back and take that tile back. Now they get to do it for free, and they're probably going to get Pegasus. So let's see, really the biggest roll here is Moon. Moon rolls a 2, only loses 4 soldiers, decides to split up that army. Slows down Moon a lot. Slows down Moon a lot. Pretty powerful against him. Now worried about how it affects Lightning now. Lightning had no soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Bobrick. Bobrick, who, well on his way to dying 9 games in a row. What are we thinking, my boy? We go into turn 3. Oh, I forgot. Poison did have... He had this card? He did? I thought Moon did. Make sure they command Thunderstorm accounted for. They did. They did. It's just that he had 34. He's got 25 from his defenses just there. He rolled a 3 on his general, which put him to 32, and he had 3 soldiers, so he's minimum 35. Lightning attack with the 34. Poison's minimum 35. With that first dice roll. It's accounted for. Yowza! So Earth has got some breathing room now. Can really stretch those legs now that the Pegasus fight will almost be over. And I got a couple turns before they can really use it effectively. Not too worried about it. So Earth is really just going to play the eco game. You're worried about Moon coming on this coast here. I would stretch out onto the field, pop my defensive plays. Right? Let's pop extensive fortifications on this field. And let's see, we're at 8 and 11. That's the play. That's the play. And let's put another resource building down. Yeah. Let's stretch those economic legs, Sebastian. A.K.A. Seabass. Make sure his name is Seabass in the leaderboard here. Actually just excelled in his second game he played. First game he played, totally learning. Second game, clinical kill. Eliminate a player. None other than Bobrick. Bobrick is really just getting sliced up this stream. He's getting carved up in the commentary. Bobrick. Make sure everyone goes to opening day of Empires of Aether and get your very own signed, autographed Bobrick card. First edition. Yeah. So he goes for the Rainforest. Yes, the more economic tile. But we could definitely be punished by Moon here. And I do anticipate Blue Shadow to see it. Because what you're probably going to do is you're going to buy this field. You get 2 soldiers spawned on it. You can buy this field tile. Probably will. Now I'm looking at it. You definitely will. Because you can't put DFs down, which is so interesting, actually. It's so interesting. Because actually aggressing into enemy territory as Moon, you can't hold on to the land. Because you can't put defensive fortifications down, so it's super interesting. Very unique. And maybe that is what makes this 2 soldiers spawn balance. We'll have to see. So Earth buying that Rainforest. He's at 2 and 2. We're going over to Moon, who gets announced. Lots of extra food. Every nation is rolling a dice for food here. But Moon gets a roll too. Earth's going to pick up a cheeky 5. Moon's going to roll a 3 for the first die. Moon rolls twice. So he's buying that forest finally. Did he just buy that? I think he did, right? I think so. He's swapping out for an army again. And I imagine we'll see him excel into the short side here. Definitely going to buy this first field. I'm not sure if you buy the second field, because there's a good chance that you're just putting the down payment on it for your enemy. For Earth just to take it back. Because you're really only going to have 2 soldiers there. I suppose you could put a barracks down. Train more soldiers. Moon going for stables. See, he's going for a kill. I think he's going for a kill. I think he's trying to move this army 2 tiles. Buy this, put a barracks down, train an army for it, attack the Earth capital. And that's not even Moon using their abilities. Okay, he's not doing that. It was there, right? The kill was there. Instead, he's going to train an army. He is 1 army shy of hitting tier 2. Using rallying... And there goes Bobrick. And down goes Bobrick! Using a combination of Rallying Howl and Stables, his army could teleport to his general, move 2 tiles in addition to that. Lightning went all in on the Pegasus play. Absolutely all in on the Pegasus play. And is suffering the consequences. You have no development anywhere else on the board. Therefore, your entire long side, and yes, it is the long side, is open. Stables is on the board. This is a very early purchase for Stables. Moon is already looking like they need to be a little bit toned down in terms of their passives, yes. But the play... Any nation could have done what this element just did, courtesy of stables being on the board and lightning essentially having no presence on the game. So, wow. And just think, if Poison's Plague is not in this game, then Moon is already tier 2. So, I'm looking at a turn 3 kill here. Moon probably just, like, sits on their cheeks. They're making 13 food a turn. If he can get to where he's making 2 more food, he can spawn 2 armies a turn on this forest. He could get another barracks here if he's netting more food and just go for 10 armies real quick. Poison getting some good advantage cards here, though. Soldiers costing just 1 food in tier 1. Very, very solid. Gonna get that in before he goes tier 2, likely next turn. But Poison gonna pick himself up a cheeky little boss kill here. That's what it's looking like. Wow. Died on purpose so I would get to 10. So Bobrick has just made himself known in the chat. He's trying to get to that 10 death streak. I hope that's not the case. But if you get there, man, all the more power to you. Bobrick! Yo. I hope you watch back this footage, man. One of the swiftest deaths I've ever seen. Great play was there. The great play was there. You zigged when you should have zagged. Let's say that. You zigged when you should have zagged. Holy moly. I cannot believe it. So we've got Western Direction halted this turn. What an aggro game. And the two nations that just absolutely slammed into each other. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to happen. So actually Moon, I totally forgot Typhons of the game. Moon is probably going to play for this. They got their Lunar Cycle card. Might as well hold off on, using it. Let's just pop it the turn that we're attacking Typhon. Let's make it a guarantee. Which, having +1 added to your dice roll is 6 armies with no other additive bonuses. 6 armies and a soldier would make that guarantee with +1. He's got waxing at his disposal as well. He's got stables at his disposal. So I think this is a couple turns that he can absolutely achieve this. Why is he asking? Card, my boy. Card, my boy. He's at 3, 9, 12, 14 BM. 3, 5, 7. This is looking like, yeah, this is going to be a swift Moon win. I think we're killing Typhon in 2 turns, I think. If I'm doing that math right in my head. It's not next turn, right? Waxing is 2, so every tile and resource building that you own, which does include capitals, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 soldiers. So it's almost 2 armies. They can move twice. That's going to get him 4 armies here. Can join here. He's 2 turns away. 2 turns. Yes, can't go west. Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of irrelevant to this, right? Earth can really stall this game if you play Tectonic's Typhon away. I don't anticipate that being a thing. But I'm thinking we're looking at a turn 6 Moon win, courtesy of killing Bobrick and killing Typhon. That appears to be the play. And even if he doesn't get to kill Typhon, he can just kill Echidna, and whatever boss that she spawns. So I think it's 2 turns regardless. So how do we feel? People were chilling in here. I think the Moon passive should be 1 soldier spawn on every tile, but maybe that's even too weak. I think certain nations can certainly take advantage of that, but maybe that's where the play in Moon is. You're not aggro. You're not defensive. You're somewhere in between. Once you go tier 2, you go full aggro, right? But can the truly more aggro nations take advantage of your weaknesses in the DF department? I think that's pretty fair. We'll have to see. Seb's got some plays to make here, but really we're just biding our time. If you're really scared, I mean, Moon's got to kill on Earth right here, but he can't go west. So Seb needs to defend this field tile here, put the extensive fortifications down, do something with it. Yikes. Doubling needs to have a cap. Shouldn't be able to spawn 2 armies for 15 food. I agree on that too. Maybe a max of 3 soldiers a turn. I think that's fair. Because you hit tier 2 on turn 4. Or, I guess technically you're not even tier 2. Because you haven't conjoined the armies yet. So you're not technically tier 2. Let's see. Turn 1. 1, 2, 3. Turn 4. Yeah. So we are turn 4. But it'll hit it this turn. So turn 4, we're hitting tier 2. Like when you spawn an army, add 2 more soldiers, something smaller. I agree with that. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, what do you think about the tile claiming bonus? I think it should just be 1 soldier. I think the forest doubling bonus, yes, should definitely need some tempering. But also the claiming tile should be different. I think so. That's just me, dog. That's just me. I'm trying to make big plays, but sometimes it don't work the way you want it to. I feel that. I feel that. I mean, I guess he's dead regardless, right? No matter if he goes for Pegasus or what, he's still dead to what Moon does. Yeah, if you keep Forest double but nerfing both makes him too weak, I feel like. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll try nerfing 1 and we'll see if that fixes it. But this was a strong early game. But also, I gotta understand, or I gotta say, like, this ability is absolutely not broken. This ability is not broken. But it was used just beautifully with Staples to kill Bobrick. What card we got here? What card's Moon drawing? Massive casualties, eliminating an army of the board, kills Poison. Just before he goes and kills Pegasus. This is a Moon game, baby. This is a Moon game. I mean, I think Poison was already just playing to get some win conditions, right? Oof, desperate. And I think Oof had such a great setup for it, too. Just lightning forces you into a certain position on the game. Man, I don't think we're going to get there, though. Yeah, he's about to spawn 2 armies here. It's going to send him to tier 2. I'm trying to think. Every 3rd soldier is free. 6 armies are... But that's like the same thing as blubber rations. I don't want to do, like, repeat the same. It's essentially the same thing as blubber rations. It also has very bad intervals because you can only train 5 soldiers from a barracks. So you can only train 5 soldiers. It means you're only getting 1 free soldier. Maybe it's a buy 4, get 1 free type deal. 12 food. I don't like that either. I think I just want to try nerfing the tile bonus. Because I also think if Moon doesn't have this forest right next to their capital, they are super weak. Because then at that point, if the forest is like here or something, or here, then the other players are stupid for not aggressing upon it. But perhaps, 2 armies, 15 food is just too powerful tier 1, right? But 15 food is a massive investment. That's what you got to realize. Like, they don't have to actually invest in tiering up. That's the weirdness about this element thus far. I like how they feel this game, though. I like how they feel. So it looks like Moon is just trying to protect their investment in this capital tile. Got to respect that. Just farm up that food so you can farm up armies on this forest tile. Can't nerf stuff mid-game, right? We're looking at a 2-turn victory for the Typhon kill for Moon. Poison can slow it down with... Didn't take social distancing, actually. So Poison cannot slow it down from afar. Poison was definitely going for that heavy anti-lightning matchup, and I do like that play. I think that's a really good thinking. Just unfortunate matchup. Unfortunate circumstances. Kind of took Poison out of this game. Their strategy's invalidated because their target is gone. That's really the play we're looking at here. Lightning's going to get reinforcements. Not too useful here. Our opponent not battling anymore. We're just battling bosses. And Oof's just ending his turn. 9 and 12. Can't go tier 2. Can't train enough soldiers to kill the Stallion. So yeah, let's let's get out of here. Let's just, why are we wasting our time here, right? Peace talks, interesting. Generals moving to the central landmark tile. Very interesting for Earth for this to happen. You've got plate tectonics at your disposal. Always interesting when this happens with Earth in the game. Plate tectonics, a truly powerful ability. Once again, I've fallen victim to it twice in 2 days. That's one a day. It's one a day. Yeah. So we go back to Sebastian. These turns are going real fast. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because it's 3 players on a 4-player game. Yowza, yowza. But Moon not spending any of their resources. Wonder why he's doing that. I mean, why not train an army last turn? I don't really understand. Right? Just train an army. Because you can't train 2 armies on the same tile. I think it's the fact that he's... Or, I mean, you train 2 armies, but you can't spawn. You can't pay for 2 armies. You can pay for 1. Buy more tiles, which is also increasing his waxing output. Now it's at 11 soldiers. 12 soldiers, actually. So that's 4 armies he can spawn. That's mighty powerful, I'd say. Mighty powerful. Wouldn't feel nearly as powerful if he didn't have stables, though, right? Moon might be a very high caliber pick on a stables board. Need a forest in the corner, you need stables. Oh, and is it GG? Can he get them there? I don't think he can. He spawns 2 here, so that's 4 armies attacking Typhon. Gonna can join them all here. Yep. He's got 4 armies. He's officially tier 2, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning an army from the rainforest. So he's at 5 armies, is that correct? Wait, can he waxing? So if he spawns 1 more, he's at 6. And then waxing with full moon, so he's adding 3 to the dice roll. This is guaranteed, right? It's a 5 with a minimum of 4, which is actually a 6. Yeah, that's a guarantee. And GG! What a swift one, ladies and gentlemen. What a swift one. Killing Typhon turn 5. One of the things I did envision in Moon's design was killing these higher health bosses, because Typhon is just the tip of the iceberg for what I anticipate will be added to the game. Moon taking a turn 5 dub via killing Bobrick and killing Typhon. Earth just didn't have enough time to get into the game, and Oof's strategy sadly debunked by Bobrick dying to Moon. You heard it right. Bobrick dying. When have we heard that before? When have we heard that before, ladies and gentlemen? A great game played from all parties. Thanks for hanging out. Empires of Aether, baby. Empires of Aether. The next great turn-based strategy board game that allows you to wield an element of your choosing, vying for control of a new element, a new power, a new land. Aether. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Forgot Lighting has an army tier 1. They do. But that's the thing, is like investing in that army tier 1, like you sabotage every other aspect of the game. So yes, it's there, but is it meant to be used? Is it meant to be used? But yes, definitely much to be adjusted, looked at. Was Moon truly broken this game? Aspects of it, sure. But is the outcome the same? With a few tweaks. And I think so, yes. I think yes. Give me my Moon win tile, the actually very first person to receive it. Congratulations to Blue Shadowed. Already has his mark on the game in an ability in the Blood Nation. And now it appears he's going to be a Moon main. Congrats to Justin, Blue Shadow, who is going to be the #1 seed in the competitive season after claiming this swift dub on Moon. Perhaps taking advantage of an element in a broken state. I don't know. But hey, that's Empires of Aether, baby. We are creating the next great tabletop experience. And I hope you're enjoying yourself. And I hope you'll join us next time. Get involved! Check out the YouTube. Check out our other social media live videos coming soon. And of course, matches. All the time. All the time. Get involved. And if you need a code, just reach out. I got you. I got you. I'm not officially a CEO yet, but I got big CEO energy. I got big CEO energy. See you soon. Love you.